This is TWiT.
Well, let me tell you, there is a connection between kids and us adults with ideas and how to get them turned on to ham radio. And here's Jim Mayercak, WX8J. And Jim, thank you so much for joining us. And let's jump right in and learn all about your dream of deer. So if we may, and yes, we're going to return to the CW slide prompt. There we go, first slide. And Jim, I'm going to turn it over to you, and welcome aboard, Jim. Go ahead.
Thank you, Gordo. Good evening. Hey, we are the Deers, the Dresden Elementary Amateur Radio Station Club. It's a group of fun kids with various backgrounds enjoying ham radio and making a difference in the hobby and in our corner of the world. Now,
and it's a big corner.
From a humble start, the Deer School Club began in 2009 with this donated Kenwood station. This is Austin taking the lead and demonstrating how to make QSOs on 40 meters. Now,
wow.
What a better way to learn your states and the countries than to QSO with hams on HF, sideband, or even PSK. And I'll tell you, the kids take great pride in working DX stations. Now, also, remember, your local hams become instant celebrities on the neighborhood repeater. You should see the kids' eyes when they walk into the room when they come to visit the club. Local volunteer with our club is Larry, KE8HEC. Now, he works with the club members in the VHF station. Larry started coming out to the club meetings with his grandson. Now he's licensed. Now here's some more opportunities. Kids were amazed to talk through an amateur satellite instead of watching TV through it. Simple and free software, good timing, they're hooked. Now this group is working AO51 with a 5-watt talkie and a Yagi. Now later, the ham they were talking to sent them the audio file from the QSO. Then the kids started asking me, can we talk to the International Space Station? Well, to learn and understand what they're doing, we use Gordon West's technician and general class manuals. Science theory becomes in-hand reality. Take a look at Jacob here. He is mentoring the younger 5th and 6th graders. He is the one teaching the Ohm's Law calculations with those handmade pie charts. It sharpens all their skills. Now, we want to make circuit components and design things, and it can be tough. But hey, go to Amazon.com, get a Snap Circuits lab. This Deers member, Caleb, on the right, already had one and became our resident expert and teacher. Here he is in the next slide working with Sylvie, and they're assembling one of the projects. The building is fun, and it's easy, and really foolproof. Now the kids are saying, hey, Mom, can I get one for Christmas? Now, even though the knowledge of Morse code is not necessary in licensing anymore, the kids love to work with it. So why not build an inexpensive code machine from scratch? Look at Elijah here. KE8EYW is taking a spin on his constructed code machine. Now, as funds permit with our club, we build bigger projects. Parents join this group building an inexpensive VHF receiver kit from MFJ. Mom is reading the directions. Her daughter is IDing the parts, installing them in the printed circuit board, and solders them in. Now, how many kids these days know how to solder in components? This is a skill for the lifetime of building. Dad and son can work together, resulting in a proud papa of a son with a successful build that allows him to monitor the local repeaters. This is a handy device in severe weather or just listening to hams rag chewing on the local repeaters. Speaking of success, here's Mason, KE8BQL, with his passing certificate on his technician's license. Through study, he is now a skilled contester and is joining the local winning team at WZ8P for sweepstakes coming up this weekend. When one of our members gets their tech ticket, they receive a free VHF talkie courtesy of one of our club donors. This gift gives members a radio that they could not otherwise afford. You got to keep them talking. Donors are vital to the success of our school radio club, and we celebrate and we thank many, many local hams and stores like Universal Radio in Columbus, Ohio, and ICOM USA for making this possible. Hams are giving people. Now face it, kids love their smartphones. Here's Ryan, KD8PIR. He built an interface for his iPad and into a Kenwood HF radio. This is high-powered texting to the world. He was our first Deers member to lecture at the Dayton Hamvention Youth Forum. Here's Tyler, KD8UAY, another one of our members to speak at the forum. And hey, thank you, Carol Perry, WB2MGP, and the Radio Club of America for your tireless promotion of amateur radio with our youth. As I found out back in 2009, and Carol told me, you can start a kids club. Here's this presentation. It was on contesting. In fact, he and another member even won the rookie roundup. Tyler's part of that team at WZ8P contesting this weekend in sweepstakes. And speaking of contesting, the Deers, KD8, NOM, Kilo Delta 8, November, Oscar, Mexico, has competed in some 11 ARRL School Club Roundup contests. No one sits on the bench with this winning group. Each student has a specific job to perform in the contest, and then they rotate to another position. They might be calling on HF or at times calling CQ on simplex VHF frequencies. You got to work those local ham celebrities and club stations. Computer logging. You know, I'm still amazed at how fast those little fingers can accurately type in the information from the QSO. And don't let those pretty smiles fool you. These eager members are searching DX Summit for the big multipliers. These girls can find them. Now, over the last several years, these elementary kids have won 4 first-place wins and 3 second-place wins nationally in the School Club Roundup. We are currently waiting to see if our latest elementary record-high score will hold up from the fall of 2017, just this last month. They made over 700 QSOs, 47 states, 6 Canadian provinces, and 50 other fellow schools. This could be first place number 5. We're awaiting verification. If you want to see more, now you can follow us on Facebook, you can follow us on Twitter, and you can see the Deers in action. Just search those two with Kilo Delta 8, November, Oscar, Mexico. Or better yet, meet us on 20 or 40 meters. Our kids are active, and we'd like to talk to you.
Wow, that was terrific, Jim. And Jim,
Well,
I probably don't need to say what's the best part of ham radio for you. I bet it's working with the kids, huh?
Well, Gordo, I was a teacher for music and band for 30 years, so I've been working with kids all of this time. Frankly, I'm just a big kid myself.
Well, as one kid to another, and with Carol Perry, WB2MGP, ready to take on all the work this coming Friday with Radio Club of America, we congratulate you, sir, for all your hard work with these kids. And I'll turn it over to you for a final with a big question. What's the best way to get kids involved with ham radio?
Well, it all starts out with an opportunity, Gordo. You get some local hams and you get some interest going, and take some radios into a classroom. Make a special event of it. Do something small with an HT, or if you can't take an HF rig in there and do something simple. Get them interested in it, and you would be surprised how many kids will say, this is something I can't do with my smartphone. And it goes from there.
Well, that's the truth.
Yes,
well, Jim,
by all means,
tell us about what we're seeing here. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is our page on Facebook, and you can see the kids operating there. Some of those pictures, in fact, you saw tonight. We post when we're going to be on the air, what's been going on. In fact, one of the big stories from last night was the kids were talking with a station, and they didn't realize who they were talking to. And I said, what's that call sign? And they said, it's K3FBI. I said, look that up on QRZ. And they were amazed. This is the FBI's club station. They were just blown away. And I said, now you got to behave. They're listening to you.
Well, that's terrific. Well, Jim, we all salute you on the great work that your entire team puts in. Do know that Carrie Perry with Radio Club of America, and she'll be talking all about, I'm sure, your program and many of the other programs that our viewers and listeners here at Ham Nation can imitate. But thank you for leading the way to getting, most important, more kids into ham radio. Over to you, Jim, for your final.
Thank you, Gordo. You know, the best advice Carol ever gave me when I first heard some kids at the youth forum was this. She said, you know, don't try to reinvent the wheel. Call me, email me. Let's talk about it, and let's get a plan together. That was the start of it. I never thought it could ever grow into what it's grown into. It's amazing, and it can be done. You can do it in your town with your kids in your Eaton Elementary School.